Okay, something a little bit different. I was talking in one of the other videos about how in the .mpr file for a map edit, you get all of these, classes, objects, properties that you can edit, but there didn't seem to be any documentation on as to what any of those were. So yeah, I've got a little like I'm not a coder. I've never trained as a coder. I picked up some like Visual Basic, for applications because I was one of those spreadsheet guys, and I taught myself kind of how to code at a high level, rough level, and hack together stuff that would do what I want. So from what I understand, Python's good for that. So I'm teaching myself a bit of Python. Had some issues, but what I found, I already had Visual Studio Code installed. I repaired it and updated it, but it still wasn't working. So what I did was basically uninstalled everything. I uninstalled Visual Studio Code, uninstalled Python, uninstalled all the extensions, and then I reinstalled it and just followed a basic, hello world tutorial and started to get it to work. So yeah, this one is pretty straightforward. We're defining where all of my uh, saved maps are, which is going to be different for you, but I believe that's the default there. Um, this is focusing on red alert, but should work the same for uh, the original. Um, yeah, just defining the little output file. This will loop through that folder and get every single file name out of it. And then I'm just going to loop through those files. I'm checking the right hand three characters to make sure it's the NPR extension. Then I'm opening that file, reading it line by line. And yeah, basically you can see, if I bring this back up, um, the headers, the objects or the classes or whatever these are, all have those square brackets. And I don't believe they appear anywhere else. So we can just do a quick check. If we go down, and it does only seem to be giving me the headers. And yeah. So I'm just going to run this quickly. Sorry, if it does find that, it just writes that object title, the text, to a file, and then it closes the file. So let's run this. Okay. For some reason, if I do that one, it works. So let's bring up what that looks like. Doesn't seem to like some of the files that are in the bigger folder, so I might have to tidy up some of the input data. So yeah, basically what you can see here is this is just a test folder that's only got 5 maps in it, and yeah, it's pulled out every header. It's still duplicated. I haven't tidied that up yet. That would be easy. This could then go into something like Excel or whatever you prefer to use, and you could then manipulate this data. I plan to extend this a bit for then the properties, because for each thing, bear with me, I've just closed the window. Yeah, so for each class in the square brackets, these are some of the properties, I should point out, but not all of them. So what I would like to do is over time work on this code. I mean, the runtime is milliseconds, so run the code and try and piece together. So I've got a good idea now across the maps that I've sampled what all of the headers can be. And then I do plan to just run that on my larger set, which is, what have I got? 268 items. So that's 267. Divide 3 is on the order of, 80, 80 to 90. Sorry, I do have a calculator here. Yeah, 89 files, 89 maps, a lot of which have custom edits in there. So at the very least, I can gather that, understand on the maps that I play what headers have been used and what properties are able to edit, and then maybe even a step further and what some of the acceptable values are for those properties. So yeah, for something like speed or guard range or range, it just takes an integer. That's easy. Damage, rate of fire. But these ones like projectile, warhead, report, what does that mean? So report seems to be a yes or no. So some of it's Boolean, but others take text inputs that the game recognizes, but yeah, are not documented anywhere from what I've seen. So at the very least, we can pull that together, get like a community built source of properties that we can edit. Um, given given how quick this is to run, and my data set is just limited to the maps that I've played. Um, if there's people out there who are playing different maps, and it doesn't really matter if they're duplicates because they'll have the same file name, so Windows will sort that out. So I'm kind of picturing gathering MPR files from other players and creating a bigger database, and maybe we can get in there and work out a bit more than we currently know. Um, this is just me doing it for myself. I have messaged a few of the other creators who I like, messaged them on Steam just to say, hey, how did you find this info out? Is there a reference? Is this documented? Asking those sorts of questions. I haven't heard back yet, but for now, this is just going to help me start to get my head around what's possible. And yeah, I don't know, maybe like with the drone warfare map that I'm working on is just one idea, but I mean, the sky's the limit. Anyone out there with a cool idea could come in here and learn this info and play with it for themselves, and to come up with a totally new concept. So that would be really cool. Anyway, that's enough ranting from me. I'll leave that there. Bit of a dry one, but yeah, hopefully, if there's anyone out there who is interested or is able to send me files, I think I've got. Well, look, I'm on Steam, so if you see me there already in the group chat, get in contact with me. Otherwise, maybe leave a comment on the video, and I'll try and get in contact with you. Maybe set up an email address or something for that channel just so you can email me and just email me the files. They're really just text files. I mean, each MPR file's on the order of like, tens of kilobytes. So even for complicated maps. So yeah, it is just text. So there's no real limit to what you can just dump on me, and I can process it. Yeah, leave it there.